rectangular brass tube filled with the same stuff on the tops of matches. Inside there is a wire that's serrated that's attached to a loop. When they put the string, which has a hook, onto that loop and they pull it, it will pull that wire out, effectively striking the match. The flame will shoot down that brass tube into the gunpowder, which has been exposed by that pick making a hole in the bag. That's what you'll see when they'll see the guys put the white string on, and they'll make, when everything's ready, they'll pull the string, the lanyard, and fire it.
Load!
The gunpowder is prepared for us in aluminum bags, aluminum foil, so the aluminum doesn't spark against the iron as it's being loaded.
What?
And also make it waterproof and spark-proof. If there are any sparks remaining from a previous shot, we don't want the charge to go off. Also, you stand away from the muzzle while you're loading it, and the way you hold the ramrod is an agreed-upon safety measure, where you don't actually wrap your thumb around the rod in case it goes off and it shoots the ramrod down range. Next, he's placing the friction primer in because the charge has already been punctured, and the black gun, which is a Parrott rifle, is ready to fire. A man named Robert Parrott patented that type of cannon, and it was called a Parrott gun. The other two guns are U.S. Army design guns, model 1841 6-pounders, which fire a projectile about the size of a softball, and if they wanted to, they could fire a softball as a cannonball. But they're smooth bores. The black gun is rifled, as in a modern rifle or a pistol. The other two guns are like shotguns, smooth bores. They're very good for close fighting, but not so good for really long range. The black gun is really accurate at long ranges, and was very useful, and the Confederates hated them. They couldn't make as many rifled guns as the Union could because we had more factories. And the technology to make them was one of the reasons that the South became separate from the North. Now, we're taking our time loading these cannons because we want to be safe. During the Civil War, men were trained and would practice and drill in loading and firing blanks or just going through the motions every day so that they could do it in a hurry in the real battle. And some of the drills involved dragging the cannon with horses in one direction towards the enemy, unhooking the cannon, swinging it around, and bringing the horses with the ammunition 50 feet behind the gun. And that took some coordination. So the soldiers were very well trained. During the Civil War, to be an artillerist required a certain amount of intelligence. And the men tended to be picked for that branch of service. Because one small mistake, and somebody can get their foot run over by a horse or get their hand blown off. And also the art of firing artillery, trying to figure out the number of seconds fuse you need to fire a certain distance, is what led to modern computers, because all the modern computers we have today came from the U.S. military trying to determine how to fire projectiles accurately at long distances. And the science is called ballistics, which is what rocket scientists use when they send satellites into space.
Ready on the firing line?
Ready!